All right. Uh, so I had some technical difficulties. I started a stream earlier today at probably 5:40 or 6 o'clock. And it got interrupted for no reason. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is, and I've decided to do a new stream. I ended the other stream because it was buggy and I could not go back into it and continue off where I started. It just jumped out of the YouTube app for some reason and just stopped working. So I really don't know why, but I'm just going to continue where I left off, and maybe I'll do a full 2 hours, but at this point, I already, live streamed for 40 minutes from the previous stream. So I apologize if this is annoying, but technology issues. This is out of my control. This is YouTube's fault. So we will just continue off where we left off. So in the last stream, before it got interrupted, we were integrating the wings of the X-47 with the fuselage. Right, we taped taped the trailing edges together with the fuselage piece, and then taped the middle, and then the leading edges, and then now we're taping a spar, kind of just down the middle to stiffen the longitudinal aircraft axis, right? So yeah, again, I'm very frustrated with YouTube. I recognize that they are providing a platform that wouldn't be available otherwise. I mean, I could do this on other platforms. It's just they're not great. I feel more comfortable doing it on YouTube because this is where my main presence is. I'm just a little bit annoyed and angry because it just stopped for no reason, and now I have to start all over again. But anyway, we didn't get too far last time. It was mostly just kind of warming up, right? Just attaching things to the fuselage, right? And so I think we left off where we also wanted to put like a spar along the leading edge here. And the reason for that is to provide a kind of a blunt leading edge across the inner fuselage portion here. Yeah, so that's that. Sorry, I'm just not thinking straight anymore. I got so distracted by that interruption. But anyway, yeah, I actually wanted to use popsicle sticks, but it turns out it's a little too long for this leading edge. It would have made for a very rigid structure, a very nice rigid structure, but I don't think it's gonna fit, right? So you'll have to like shave down the wood piece, and I don't have tools to do that at the moment. So working with what we have, which is just straws and things like that, we can actually probably just put this here, trim that, right? Trim this so that it matches this shape here, and then it'll fit perfectly. And then we tape that down and fold this flap over. But before we do that, might want to pre-fold these flaps, but also just build the fuselage up a little bit before we attach the spars. So I'm gonna do a quick pre-fold of this piece right here. Right, so I feel like it's easier to switch it up this time. The leading edge here, down with the aluminum wool. This is really nice, right? So this is where inaccuracies in the template and layout are causing some issues. Right? It's not matching up perfectly, which is not a huge deal, but it's just kind of annoying. Once we build up the fuselage a little bit, this will be a little bit better, I feel like. So, just gonna move this here and repeat on this side. This one's gonna be a little tough. I'm right-handed and this is hard to get at. Just have to try my best here. So just pinch that down. And fold that. Right. Just fold that down. Should be all right. So there we go. All right. So what are we gonna do now? Going to build up the main fuselage down the center. Just gonna open a new straw here. Not sure if I should trim this so that it becomes like a sharp tip here. But the trailing edge, definitely want it to be sharp, because the exhaust nozzles, if you've ever seen it on the X-47, it is kind of just flat. It slants down, right? And it just fits in nicely with the body. So it is a stealth drone after all, so. Right, so something like that. Just gonna take this down. Right. Just got one side down. This one's a little bit short. I'm not sure if this is enough tape. Yeah, it's a very thin piece on this side. Hopefully it's enough. All right, and so I think we might want to build up with another thick diameter straw. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that instead of using a small diameter. And that's because it just gives it a little bit more thickness. I feel like this plane, you know, with a little bit of thickness in the middle, it looks a little bit better than without. So I'm gonna do that. And I don't think we have enough straw. do that. That's not gonna be perfect. Alright, we'd have to trim down this much. I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing. It's just unexpected. I'd have to make this one symmetric, and the way it is right now, yeah, I would like to keep this length. So this we might use somewhere else, but we do need another one of those big diameter straws. I'll try and find one real quick. Alright, so that took a while. This might be my last Dunkin' Donuts orange straw for a while, because I haven't gone out to get coffee much. This is a split end right here. Let me just chop that off. Alright. This might be the last one, so might be enough for this, but for other projects, God, this is... Wow, today's just really not my day, is it? Yeah, I don't think we have enough. We have like 3 more. And then we're out of thick diameter straws. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to order some custom straws just off of the internet, probably off of Amazon. But it is what it is. Or I could just go out and get more coffee and steal more straws that way. This looks okay. Doesn't look too bad. Right? So we have to try and match this one with this. Now, I'm not even measuring at this point because I just want something that flies. Right? This isn't like a precision engineered aircraft. So I'm just gonna trim this. Right, just like align the end there together. And just trim right along. Right. That makes matching pieces. So these scraps I might use for something else, but chances are we're not gonna use them. Alright, so we're gonna eyeball about where the center is. So if you look at the side of the X47, it's a pretty kind of even distribution of thickness, which is pretty interesting, right? Because for most aircraft, that is not the case. Right, the F-22, for example, is kind of like that, but it's a little thicker in the front, right, because of the cockpit, and then it tapers down to the nozzle, to the exhaust. But with this plane, with the X-47, it's more like a, I want to say normal distribution, right? It's kind of like a normal Gaussian curve. So if you've ever taken a statistics class, and I mentioned this in my other videos, it's a really nice curve. I like it for the aesthetic, right? But it, you know, the statistics behind it happen all over the place in real life. So it's kind of nice that way. Okay, this piece is too small. I need to get a larger piece. There we go. Just kind of just securing this down. Right. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Really crush that adhesive into the cardstock. Right. Alright, so that looks alright. Doesn't look too bad. I think for added thickness, we might want to add like a segment of black straws here, but that's after we close this down. But also we want to use a black thin diameter straw for the leading edge here. Alright, so we're gonna try and match that to this shape. Apologize for that. My phone overheated. You know the drill. Yeah, it's just too many technical difficulties with live streaming. That's the only issue. I mean, I could try different things, but you literally need like super fast Wi-Fi and a device that won't overheat to reliably do this. So, well, that's that. I'll try and look into ways to improve the quality of the live stream. But getting back into the actual build, just want to create a copy of this on the other side. This is the leading edge inner portion of the wing, right, of the fuselage. It's a spar. So I'm just going to put that there. But we need another piece on the other side, right? So it has to be as symmetric as possible, within reason. And the way I do that for this type of a thing is I kind of just match up the line here. Right, so that gives you the constant same slope. All right, so that's that, and just trying to do the same thing for the back side here. This isn't perfect, right? This is not exact, but the idea is that this will hopefully give a, oh god, I fucking messed it up. All right, well, still have another piece here. This, okay, so this matches. Just need to cut the front end a little bit again to fix that. All right, so these are gonna go here, and hopefully they match up. If they don't, well, I'll have to trim a little bit more, like in the case of this one right here. This isn't great. It's not top-notch craftsmanship, but I just want something that flies, to be honest. And once everything's covered up, it looks decent from the outside. Just the inside is not perfect, right? And if you don't make it, you don't know, right? You know, I was always taught that as a student in art classes, right? People don't know what you went through to get your final product. So as long as your final product looks reasonable, it should be all right. But over the years, I've come to realize that that way of thinking is a little bit, um, I don't know how to call it. It's just a little bit unethical, I guess. Right? So it's you need to set like limits, right? Because you could spend forever trying to get a part to be perfect, but you won't get anything done in the grand scheme of things, right? So you need to like know what the proper balance is, right? When to put a ton of effort in, and when to kind of just lax your requirements a little bit. And that's, knowing when to exert energy and effort is a key here. So I'm just so this tip here is really just too cramped. So there's no way for me to apply a piece of tape here. So what I'm doing is going back here and taping kind of 2 points down the middle and just attaching it that way. So this will come over. Yep. Everything is according to plan. Those of you joining right now, I apologize. There have been some major technical difficulties today with the live stream, but we're just gonna keep on trucking, right? Despite what life throws at us. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit frustrated, and I'm sorry I came off that way earlier in the stream, in this stream, before, not the one that got interrupted. Because I think I had some good talking points in that one, but it just got interrupted, and now it's just lost. Like I restarted, logged back into YouTube, and the app would not let me continue the stream for some reason. It was still live. It's just I couldn't jump back into it and continue it, which is very strange. And so the only solution I came up with was to just delete that stream and then start over again. So today's stream, I don't know if I'm gonna do the full 2 hours. If I'm around like good stopping point, I think I will just stop, but we'll see how long we go. Hopefully it's a decent amount of progress made with this project. So that's that. Yeah, really unfortunate with overheating. My phone, when it live streams, it overheats a lot. And the only solution I can come up with is to put it in the freezer to cool it down. And the other solution would be to make the entire apartment like 60 something degrees when it's like 80 something degrees outside, which isn't really great for the electricity bill. It's also not really great for the environment, so I tend not to do that. But we need to figure out a better solution for these live streams, just to make things better. All right, so this is what our fuselage looks like, right? So this is the inner structure. So once we fold these two flaps over, it becomes kind of a 3D shape, right? And this is really nice, actually. This is really simple, and yeah, this is decent. I like it. So I think we should probably stiffen this way a little bit. Not sure if I should use a popsicle stick. These two are warped, so I'm gonna try and get a better popsicle stick real quick. This seems all right. So I'm just gonna stick it underneath here, see what happens. Is that even possible? Did I tape it shut? It's not even possible. It might not be possible because I taped it shut. Dang. Alright, so this is what happens when you don't plan ahead. All right, so I don't think we can stiffen it this way. That's unfortunate. All right, so I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife to poke a little pathway for this to go through. All right, there we go. So it was a little bit of tape that was interrupting that, but hopefully this this will create a very rigid structure. Just looking at how it's going to impact the overall shape. I think it gives it a little bit of anhedral, which might be a problem. Let's see if we can do this another way. Yeah, but this is like the only place where it can really fit. All right, so maybe we're just not gonna do that. But before we close it up, I think we do need a little bit of this is like just design decisions right here. So we're probably gonna make like a second layer of straws here with the black, and that'll create a nice profile, side profile. Still debating whether or not I should add a spar or structure of some kind to really just stiffen up this fuselage. Because right now it is all just paper, so. I'm not sure. Maybe we should just close it up for now. This is supposed to be a really simple plane. I'm worried that if I just keep on going at it too long, it's just gonna end up being unnecessarily complicated. So, all right, I'm gonna close off the trailing edge. I think this is all right. Really just secure the trailing edge here. So I'm just gonna need to trim this a little bit to get it to be able to fold over. Alright, that's a nice trailing edge. Right? This is nice. Yeah, that's a really sharp trailing edge. Wow. Just pinch this a little bit more. So the only limit, right? So in real life, in real airplanes, the only limit to the thickness here is structural concerns. right? Because in real life, if you have an airplane with wings that have a trailing edge that is too sharp, what can happen is cracks can form, right? Because the plane, right, itself is experiencing dynamic loads, right? So what that means is, like, you have your air turbulence, you have your engines which are running and they vibrate a lot, right? And so when you have a very thin structure, it's not really good, because it can, structurally it can start cracking and things like that. Especially since these control surfaces on the trailing edges are load-bearing structures. That means that, if you have a crack, it's gonna just propagate until the entire part fails, right? So you don't want that to happen. So that's why usually the constraint for real aircraft on the trailing edge, at least for the thickness, is structural concerns, right? Because aerodynamically, you want it to be as thin as possible, but that's not always gonna be possible if you want to maintain structural rigidity, right? So if you make it infinitely thin, right, it's gonna be perfect aerodynamically, but structurally, it's not gonna be great. So it's always about a trade-off in engineering and design, things like that. Um, so sorry for that little tangent there. It's just, like these are the thoughts that I have when I design through things. Um, so you notice that this isn't symmetric, so likely we'll have to install like some cover panel down the middle to really just cover everything up, make it look presentable. And then yeah, also this side right here, you got to tape that down, right? So this much tape approximately, and just grab that and just apply it here. All right, that's decent. Just align the trailing edges. Right, take the X-Acto knife, just trim down this side a little bit, so we're able to fold this over. Now, this is going to be important. Trailing edges, right, they might seem easy, but to get them to be right without warping is actually a bit difficult and a bit of an art. You want it as tight as possible, but you also want it to be even as possible. Right, so this looks like it's decent. Okay, so this is a very sharp edge, right? And it looks pretty balanced with the other side. Maybe this side is a little high. Yeah, this side might be a little high, but that might also be because of the slight variations on each side. So it accumulates it differently. All the tolerances, I mean. So this looks alright. So we have a couple of scrap pieces here. Thinking about just like modifying these to well, so that's not gonna really do it, but you get the idea, right? Just like cover up this portion here. Might cut like a thin strip and then use that, because that feels more appropriate than using like two triangular pieces. I don't know what I'm gonna use these for. Hopefully for something, because I don't like to waste materials. But for the middle, probably do need like a piece that goes down the middle. And then, I was also thinking about installing additional fuselage pieces on the top here. Just move my camera up a little bit. Right, so like this, to create like a little bit more of a profile like this, but I'm not sure. So thinking over that. seems like an okay idea. The only issue is that these are relatively straight, so there's not going to be much of a curve at all. So let me just leave it as is for now. Let's see where it goes. Alright, so I do want to tape these seams together, because, you know, I might forget in the future down the line. And so these seams, this is where the outboard panel meets the main fuselage portion. And there are 4 of these, so I have to just tape. Oh, that's not enough tape. Dang it. Okay, so this is this much. Alright. It's always okay to grab a little bit more tape than a little bit less, because if you grab less, then you'll have to end up grabbing more tape for the next attempt, I guess, at taping. So you actually waste more tape that way. But that was a mistake, honest mistake on my part. So, alright, and we're just gonna take our X-Acto knife and really just trim this excess, right? I used to use scissors for this, and it wasn't great. You would not get like clean cuts. It's actually just better to use X-Acto knives. I know like some people are afraid of using knives, just like that, but it is what it is. Alright, so got that one done. Yeah, there's 4 of these, so I'm gonna try and power through this real quick. Alright, so we got this. Half on the fuselage, half on the wing. Try and keep it parallel. Just trim that down, and then use the leading edge as a guide to just trim this bit in. Decent. We will close off the wingtips at a later time. And that's just due to personal preference. Okay, so we have the other side here. So I've got 2 more of these. Okay, so this bit right here. Sorry for the fast movements. Yeah, another strategy is to make a little cut and then just rip it, because tape is like a very nice plastic film, and it's really easy to just, once it has like a cut, a crack, you could just pull it and it'll kind of just rip itself along the edge here. So that's another strategy, another technique that you can use in your builds. So here, just want to attach this last piece here just to really seal it up. Because in flight testing, when you're flight testing things like this, what can often happen is dirt and stuff, debris will get inside these locations, And you might not think it does much, but in addition to making things not really clean, making things dirty, it actually increases the weight of your aircraft. So as you're flight testing, your airplane gets heavier and heavier because it's carrying all these grains of sand and dirt. And so you really want to seal it up. And it's not, so there's a little bit here that I missed, but I can just cover that up here with this tape that I have. This is the mistake piece. So always keep your like mistake pieces of tape off to the side. You never know when you're gonna use them. That's just to reduce waste also. Alright, this isn't perfect, but we also, down the line, I think we're going to tape the leading edge just to protect it. I'm not sure about taping the entire body. If it's a really nice build, I might do that, but you can seal the entire plane, right, with tape. But that's if you really want to invest that much tape into one plane. I've done that in the past, right? It becomes waterproof a little bit, water resistant. I wouldn't say waterproof because it still gets in between the tape and the paper and it warps it. But I would say it's water resistant. It can handle a couple drops here and there. So for this, I'm gonna just like trim this. I don't know if an X-Acto knife is appropriate for the job here. Yeah, that's, wow, that is terrible. That is not great at all. Wow, okay. We're gonna be covering that, so hopefully you won't be able to see that in the future. So I'm just gonna take this piece of cardstock here. So what's a good length for this? Because we want to cover the center. All right. God, I really don't know. All right, there we go. So, yeah. All right. Let's get back into it. Phone overheated. Starting up the stream again. Oh, sorry about that. My phone overheated again, so I'm just gonna continue where we left off. So I was thinking about how we're gonna continue this. We definitely need a connecting piece on the top, but for the bottom, might need a piece too. So I'm thinking, actually, so what we could do is create another one of these 2-piece or 3-piece folding things with this template that we made last time. And then we can apply the centerpiece to the top, right? Because that'll smooth out this portion here. And then use these 2 flaps to, form the fairing around the bottom here, the bottom structure, right? And with this, we can also attach like a lengthwise piece like that. That'll give it a symmetrical shape here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So the only issue with that is that this template is gonna take some time to create. I'm not sure if I have enough space on this. You literally need like another sheet of paper to do this, which is just not ideal. But what are you gonna do, right? We could just cut out the center portion. There's really no need for that, right? I'm trying to think of a good way to continue here. It's been a while since I built one of these, so bear with me here. I'm gonna just trim this excess off. All right. Definitely need to stiffen this. I need to cover that. Just thinking about it a little bit. Could do that. I feel like I should. So if we do that, the bottom, all right, yeah, that's the cleanest way to do it. That'll make the top more reinforced too. All right, so this is not enough paper for that. Probably need a new sheet. I think that's like the only downside to this design is that it uses a lot of sheets of cardstock. Luckily, I have a lot, so these come in a pack of 50 for approximately $3 or $4, so it's not bad. It's just I would prefer not to rely on that too much. Rely on clean sheets too much. That's what I mean. Because this is a huge piece right here. It's just not enough, unfortunately, for this very large. Because we want the leading edge to be connected here. Otherwise, if it's separate, we would have to We would be able to use that, but then we need like a connecting piece here, which is extra time and effort. Whereas if you do this, it's a unified piece, which is really clean. Right, so this matches, right? And then the top does not match because there is some thickness involved. So that is unfortunate. We'd have to change the template. All right, yeah, that's annoying. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see what we can do with what we have. All right, so we definitely want to attach this. So let's just do that, all right? Don't beat around the corner. Just straight up do it. I'm gonna do it right after I take a drink. All right. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply a piece of tape. Just gonna align it in the middle here. Right. Just kind of attach one in the center. I'll take this piece right here. Probably gonna have to trim the tip again to really make it fit. Yeah, this way. Just fixing the shape a little bit. Alright, so I think I want this side to be on the front. This to be on the back. Yeah, that's not clean. Damn. What the hell happened? Alright, yeah, there's something funky going on here. Alright. Should be a little bit better. It's not clean, but we're gonna wrap around it anyway, so. Notice I'm just eyeballing the center line here. That's just to speed things up. Once I take the front down, I'm going to reassess the aft end here. Just stick it down. Yeah, this is gonna be a little tough to get right, but to help that piece of tape carry the load, I'm gonna apply another piece of tape here. It's gonna help it secure the straw down. Right. Yeah, this looks all right. So once we cover this, it'll be nearly symmetrical. Yeah, the way to do that is gonna be a little bit interesting. Alright, so definitely still need that template here, but this isn't gonna fit properly, at least I don't think. Right, so I need to extend it a little bit on both sides. it's a place to start. So we'll do that. So mark this vertex right here, this one right here, this one, and this one. Use a straight edge to connect them. Gets a cleaner result. I think that's the one thing. Let's see how this template fits again. Just need to extend it a little bit, right? Or down on the bottom here. I need to extend the trailing edge a little bit too. Market point offset here. Just give it some little extra area. Just a little bit more. And this way it can definitely cover that shape. I'm going to use the cutting board for this. It's just a little bit faster. A straight line. So this is going to be a little bit interesting. It doesn't want to sit nice. Might have to cut this in half and then build the fuselage here. Cut it in half. Tape it to this middle piece. And then see what happens. I don't know. Looks like that's the only way we could get a reasonable fit on this. Alright, let's try that. Taking a risk here. But I don't see a better way. So let's just do this. Use the cutting board. This. Oh, God damn it. Cutting piece fell out. Ah, damn it. There we go. It's aligned. Alright, clean slice. Just gonna tape the trailing edges together. This is a good starting point. Ah, shit. Misaligned it. secure the leading edge here. Not quite the center here. Right. So what this will do is force this to become nice. Alright, this is going to be a pretty long piece of tape. Alright, I apologize for that. Phone overheated again. Really annoying. I don't know how to solve it. Let's just get back into it. Hi, if you're joining, I apologize again. Phone overheated. Pretty much know the drill at this point, right? So, just grabbing a piece of tape right now to secure the front edge here. Actually, I already did. That's right when the stream got interrupted. Damn it. Alright, so... Alright, got this tape here. Okay, so the problem right now is this is a little too much length. This is a little too much length, and if we're constraining it to a smaller footprint, it's gonna buckle out a lot more. So this is not really good, at least not for us. Tape in the front. Alright, this is a little bit better. God, this is so precise. Like, you have to be pretty exact with this. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. It's really finicky, unfortunately. Follow the same steps here. Seal off or connect the trailing edge, right? That should be all right. Now comes the hard part. Right. So, extra piece of tape here. All right. It's not that great, but it's okay. It's not. Yeah. Yeah, it gets complicated because this plane has a lot of complex shapes and curves, and we're trying to approximate it using paper, which doesn't like to curve in multiple directions. Metal can do that, which is why real-life aircraft often have very nice shapes. But given the constraints of our materials here, not able to exactly do that. So the bottom right now looks a little bit weird. I'm not sure how to resolve that. Just cleaning up the aft end here. Yeah, this is alright. This is not ideal, but this would do. Just try this. This isn't great. All right. Trying to think what to do next. Yeah, because the bottom here isn't great. This is annoying. Things don't turn out well. Alright, so maybe it's easier to use leading edge instead. My plan right now is to open up this compartment and switch out that orange straw with maybe a black straw or something smaller. That should help the curvature a little bit. Right, so to do that, we need to get on the inside of this thing, which means that we have to peel back either the trailing edge or the leading edge. And the trailing edge is really tightly secured, so let's see. I'm just testing out what happens if I secure this. The really thick wing section. Damn. Alright, maybe we don't need to go in, because that would be a lot of work to change that worm straw out. So this is the top, right? This is the top, but then the bottom is really bulbous, right? So now we just need to get something to cover this up and cover the bottom up. And maybe add a little bit more curvature to the top portion here. All right. All right. Got that done. Doesn't look too bad. I think it just looks weird right now because the top isn't symmetric. But once we get the top to be symmetric, then it'll be nice. Yeah. We also need that centerpiece. Really just finish everything off. So I don't know. I don't know if we can do that right now. Let's see the time. The time is 100 minutes, so that's a little under 2 hours. I think we're at a good stopping point right now. I'm mainly saying this because I'm running low on energy myself. As you can tell, I haven't really spoken too much in the second half of this stream, but I don't know. I might do one tomorrow just to finish off the fuselage molding. We still need vertical stabilizers for this design because flying wings are not passively stable just by themselves, right? There's a B2, things like that. You know, you still need computers and stuff to make it stable, but we don't have computers here, so we need a passive way to make it stable. The only way to do that is to add vertical stabilizers, so we're gonna have to build some vertical stabilizers whenever I do my next stream. Um, and I guess so that's the plan for whenever the next stream is. I might or might not do one, another one this week, just because the stream got interrupted, first of all, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, because of that, I'm open to the idea of doing one more stream this week, just to catch up on some of the things that we should be doing right now. So next time, I think I will probably finish off the fuselage molding here, right? Make the front profile nice, make the side profile nice, and seal off the fuselage, right? Just build a piece that connects everything together. Same for the top, and then mold the top a little bit more, and then I think we should be all set. Just need to build some vertical stabilizers on the side here, small, right? Just to add a smidge of stability, right? Just to have a little tapered surface here. And that's absolutely necessary if we want it to be stable in the air. So yeah, sorry about all the technical difficulties today, but it is what it is. Happens. It's a part of life. Really just knocked the momentum out of my stream, to be honest, more than anything. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. We'll finish this build off probably in the next stream or two. Hopefully in the next stream, because I don't want this to drag on too long. This is supposed to be a simple, fast project, but it's turning out to take a lot longer. So yeah, anyways, that's it for today. I'm gonna call it, and so I'll see you guys next time. Take care.